do it. Do it. Look at me. Do it. I will personally write you a campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
Which Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election?
Of the declared ones right now, Donald Trump.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
Was attorney Eric Guster, who was enraged. He tweeted during the speech, "Did Hitler draft part of this speech?" He also tweeted that you are the civil rights issue of our time. POTUS. Strong words. Eric Guster joins us tonight from Birmingham. So, Eric, I've known you a long time. I think you're a pretty reasonable guy, smart guy, lawyer.
Yeah,
I see what's happening to you as something that's very similar to what's happening to a lot of Democrats I know in Washington. You dislike Trump so much, his personal affect is so offensive to you, that you can't hear clearly what he says. You're possessed, and it's affecting your judgment.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've heard within the last 24 hours besides some of the lines in Trump's speech. I do not totally dislike Donald Trump. What I'm disliking is his message and the things that he says about people and the hatred that he's incited in people, and him not speaking out against the racial hatred that is done in his name, the attacks on Muslims, the attacks on blacks, the attacks on Jewish cemeteries that he's touched on a little bit in the last few days, but not forcefully enough. The Department of Justice under Obama took on several issues of racial bias. The Department of Justice was extremely active in weeding out police
so
departments
in
that are
Baltimore
unfair
and
to
in
different
Ferguson,
communities.
where you clearly saw racial bias at work, I talked to you at the time. I don't remember you holding the president accountable for that. But again, this is one of those cul-de-sacs
there are dozens of
that's not
examples.
worth exploring. Let me ask you a very discreet question about last night. So Trump gets up there and says, there are victims of crime by immigrants. And the second he says that, and there are, of course, I mean, there's really no dispute about that. Democrats in the chamber, members of Congress, all but boo him. They bark at him. They express verbally their displeasure. And my question is, why? Why is it offensive to note the truth that there actually are Americans who've been harmed and killed by immigrants? Why is that bad to note? And by the way, whose side are you on if you're offended by that?
No. It's not bad to note that, but we also must note the violence that is perpetuated by white nationalists.
I legitimately don't understand what they want with the women's suffrage movement, because I know that the feminist movement is all tied up with being pro-choice and abortion and Cecil Richards and Planned Parenthood. So if that's what you're talking about, you're not representing 50% of women in America. I don't understand what rights I don't have as a woman other than you're angry that a woman didn't become president. It has nothing to do with gender. It has to do with you putting up a historically horrible candidate. And I'm offended by this. I'm offended that you think that you represent all women in the country. You do not at all. I assure you that if you're going on TV talking about how the government should pay for birth control and we should fund Planned Parenthood, there's 50% of the American women are out.
So right now we have Hillary's about a 75 or an 80% favorite. We have different versions of the forecast you can look at.
Poll has Hillary Clinton up by double digits nationally, 12 points, 50 to 38, a four-way race.
Clinton leading in Florida, Clinton leading in North Carolina, Clinton leading in Ohio, Clinton leading in Nevada. I could go on and on and on.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
And so, right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say, you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy.
We have a major projection right now. Donald Trump will take Ohio. And CNN projects Donald Trump will carry the state of Florida. Huge win for Donald Trump. Donald Trump, we project, will win in Kentucky, in Indiana, with its 11 electoral votes. West Virginia, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, North Dakota, with its 3 electoral votes, and South Dakota Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, the state of Montana, North Carolina, Georgia, Iowa, Utah, Wisconsin, Arizona, Kansas with its 6 electoral votes, Nebraska with its 5 electoral votes, and Wyoming with its 3 electoral votes.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business.
What do you know from funny, you